Hey everyone, we're back for the 2025 edition of the Teton Ridge Classic. I'm Dave Burgart, one of the organizers of the event, and I'm going to walk through a course preview of the 2K, 8K, and the 28K Monster that we'll be doing this year. So first, just a quick plug, if you want to participate still in the 22nd annual TRC, signups close this Friday, so don't wait. Uh, hey, just a huge thanks to our partners and sponsors. Last year's video, I realized I spoke for like 20 minutes plus about gushing about how awesome they are. I'll spare you all, but just know that, please say thanks out on the trails. Many of them will be racing with you. Okay, so what's new for 2025? Well, I never thought I'd be so excited about a bridge, but here we are. And this bridge is what allows us to start and finish at the Moose Creek Ranch this year, because you're actually going to be skiing across this bridge with our Forest Service permit this year. They were amazing, and we're actually going to shut down half the bridge, and you're going to ski across it at least twice. That's new. We were super busy all fall, tons of volunteer hours out pruning the trails and widening them where we could, taking care of anything that was dead and down. Um, what's also changed? We got a ton of snow this year. So at this point last year, we were kind of sweating, and we weren't able to do the single track that we had envisioned. This year we are, and just as a reminder, this is on the 28K track, and it's sort of inspired by Bill Koch here. So we'll have some video of that coming up. Also, just a huge thank you. To do this race, I just counted, we have 36 volunteers, everything from shoveling snow into tunnels. We have a ton of groomers um, out there. So if you see a volunteer, please say thanks. Also, what's super cool is we're on pace right now to have over 200 racers, which, uh, as best I can tell, puts us at least in the top five classic races in the U.S. for participation. So, uh, and growing. So it's super awesome. And right now, our youngest racer is age 4, and our oldest to tie 280-year-olds. So that's an amazing span. I know I don't need to say this, but please just be kind to each other out there. It is a race, so push as hard as you can, but know that it's quite possible you might interact. The 28K and the 8K might interact, and my biggest fear, honestly, is that our youngest and oldest racers decide to hang up the skis because they weren't treated kindly. So enough said. Um, okay, so uh, same as last year, we're going to be parking at the Moose Creek Ranch. Same as last year, that's where we're going to gather after for, I think we ordered 26 gallons of soup this year. That's where we're going to park in the morning. We'll have some parking lot attendants out there helping stack cars. From the parking area, you're going to actually walk to the start. It's about 2/10 of a mile, a little under about 400 meters down this road, right to about here. The start zone this year, it's massive. It's like 350 meters long. We're going to start with 8 lanes across. Then we will stop those lanes. We'll have about a 2 or 3 meter untracked section, and then we'll pick up 4 lanes. Then we'll stop those tracks again, and then we'll go down to 2 lanes. And we'll take you down 2 lanes through this section in here, just like last year, how you skied to the start. It's a similar path, but only we're able to raise it this year, which is super cool. I'll just call out, we'll have an area here for tents. So far we have Modsus is going to be there with their demo fleet, so you can check those out. We have a Skinny Skis tent. They're going to be testing waxes really early in the morning out here in the hills. So if you have any wax questions, you can go down to the tent and they can help you out. They'll even have some extra waxes for if you need some help. TV Tap, the beneficiary nonprofit that does all the grooming in the valley. They'll have a tent down here. So yeah, stop by and say hi. But I'm really excited about the start area. It's going to be super great. Okay, let's get into the course here. Perfect. Okay, so the 2K is really straightforward. We are going to start the start area, and they're just going to come out and get right towards the highway here, and then back, and that's the 2K race. It's an out and back. And we'll have some pin flagging since it's now and back. That starts at 9:30, and when they should all be done before the 8K and the 28K start at 10:30 and 10:40. Before I go into the 8 and 28, just a quick little orientation here. This is Highway 33, so Victor downtown is towards the top of the map. Jackson, Wilson, Wyoming is toward the bottom here. This whole area, mostly where we're skiing, it's called Mike Harris. Most people call it Mike Harris in the summer. We'll call it Southern Valley in the winter. It's just one of those things. And this section is typically called the happy hour single track section. That's on the 28K, and this is the Centennial Bike Path here also on the 28K. Okay, so let's walk through the 8K next. So this bottom course profile is the 28K, just as a heads up. So you 8Kers don't get too worried here. Okay, so for the 8K, it's going to start just like the 2K in that giant field that we previewed. You're going to come down through towards the highway and come underneath a skier tunnel. This is exactly what we did last year to get out to the race. Only this time we'll be racing it. The 8K will come up. It's really great classic ski terrain here. Just really nice striding. And then you get up to about the high point, and then kind of a nice fun downhill. There's one section here called S2 because there's 2 turns, but we're actually going to mellow out one of them, so it's more like S1 this year. And then you come to what's called S4, and I have a quick little video here I'll show. This is the 28K is also doing this same start, so it'll be relevant for you as well. Okay, and this is what S4 looks like. We upgraded our production this year. It's no longer just a handheld iPhone, a little drone here, so cool. But that's the first turn. The second turn, I should point out too, when I previewed this the other day, it just had snowed, so we'll have this thing groomed really solid. And this is a third turn here, and then at the bottom we come up to the big last right-hander. It then kind of just goes into a nice downhill, and then about 200 meters later, you come down a little bit of a steeper hill, and there's sort of a left turn there, and it's just kind of it's not too bad as I mentioned. I think most people had done this last year, but again, I just wanted to sort of preview that as a heads up, and there's plenty of room to snowplow. We'll have actually someone up there raking turns, so no berms are really created. The 8Kers are going to do that hill one time. The 28Kers will do that 2 times. Okay, so to continue on the journey here, the 8K then comes down into the stadium, and at this point there's going to be a feed about 6K in if they want it, and then they're going to just continue on back underneath the tunnel again, and then back to the start finish, and that will conclude the entire 8K lap. The difference in the course obviously is because we're starting and finishing at the ranch. the 8Kers will not do this little extra sort of loop that they did last year. So it's a really great course. It's all on purpose-built trails, um, and I think it's yeah, fantastic loop for sure. Okay, so that's the 8K. The 28K, so we've done the same start. We come down, we did that S4, and now instead of kind of going back across the bridge again, you're gonna go and do what's called the campground loop. Again, really great trails, and you'll then come out, and right here is where you'll enter the single track section. And this is, I think, what is super unique about this race. And we have a little video here so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so we will have classic tracks on it. This is just me again after a little snowfall, kind of previewing it and just sort of testing it out. Uh, as I said, this is normally a single track bike trail in the summer. They groom it for fat biking in the winter, and the TV Tap crew is working on grooming it as wide as possible. Um, and we'll have some classic tracks on all the uphills, and we're going to be pulling the track on some of the little downhills that exist out there. Um, Overall, skiing in this direction from north to south, the trail does have more rise. It's a few hundred feet of climbing throughout this section, so it is mostly uphill. There's the end there. And then you come across a little bridge, um, and then the trail kind of goes to the right, and you come across this sort of giant field. And we'll try to groom this out a little wider. Probably still one track, but we'll have enough room if you do want or need to pass someone, you can. And then the trail continues on a little bit further through the single track section, and that puts us right here was where we left off. You'll come back underneath a tunnel, and then what I think is probably some of the most compelling skiing on the course is this section here on the Centennial Bike Path. Unfortunately, I don't have any video of it. I'll try to get that for next year. But just this amazing, super rolly bike path section. There's a very steep kind of downhill right here that takes you back to the highway with a sharp kind of left at the bottom. We'll have it really well marked. All the areas um, that are a little bit maybe exciting on the downhills will have caution signs on them so that people know what's coming up. But then you'll come and do a second lap. You'll make a left back into my Macaris and do all of that again. Your last time through, you'll actually just continue back on and finish. So that's the 2025 course preview. Again, if you have any questions, please, get a hold of us. And one thing I didn't mention on the 28K is for the second lap, we will have a feed right in this section for coming in at your second lap. So that's at about 14 to 15K. We'll have a jug of water. We'll also have a jug of Scratch Lemon Lime drink mix for you there as well. So I know that was a question that we had received. The last point I'll just say is, this is pretty exciting that we're able to run this full course. So yeah, thank you so much for being part of it, and we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. All right, take care.